Hello everybody, I am the Barangoat and welcome back to How To RA2, the series where you guys ask me to show you how to do something and I do my best to do that, even though I'm not the best at building stuff because a lot of my subs are better than me. Today, we're going to be taking on Drum Spinner. Drum Spinners are a very fun robot. You gotta think Yeti, Minotaur. They're a very good counter to horizontal spinners in real life and kind of in the game. I have 5 different kinds of drum spinners you can make listed on a piece of paper down here. One doesn't have to be used in component freedom, the others do. So I'll show you all 5 and we'll go from there. If you have any more questions, you can leave them in the comments. Okay, so I've made a standard chassis here and we're gonna go off of this to show you how to do the basic form of a drum spinner if you don't have component freedom. If you want component freedom, take a peek down in the comments, leave a comment saying you want it, and people around here will help you out. We're a fun community. First off, of course, you have to get in your motor, and here is, I'm pretty sure this is as far as I can put this Z-Tech motor. That is the first problem when you don't have component freedom, is that you can't stick it out far enough to help you. So now we'll go ahead and start creating the actual drum part. This is all just me showing you, so it doesn't really matter. You have to use the smallest disc to be able to get pieces on, and that also poses another problem. Most drum spinners are invertible in real life. Yeti, Minotaur, Poison Arrow can easily run both ways with their drum. But when you use this big disc piece, there aren't a lot of wheels that'll work well with that. If you use the slim wheel, you're gonna be fine. But N12s are a little too small. These I'm not sure, the mud tires. The Fat Boy wheels are cutting it close. You won't be able to make a bot with those wheels that can be invertible without the drum clipping the ground and slowly getting damage. So that's the problem if you don't use component freedom. If you want to make a drum spinner this way that just can't work invertible, maybe he's just got a flipper to get him back right side up, you can do that too. So what you want to do is use extenders then off of the disc. I am using square extenders because they are simply easier to see in the main 4 directions, up, down, left, right, north, south, east, west. So then you'll have this, you can make this pretty much as long as you want it to stick out. You can have 20 centimeter extenders, multiples of those. You could have 40 and multiples of those. Basically what you're doing here with the extenders, it's probably better to have a couple 20s as opposed to 140, because what you would then do next is put on your teeth. So in this example, full spike will go on those edges. Pretty basic, honestly. It's not too bad. You have to be careful too when you're doing these extenders because this kind of matters, unfortunately. So you see I clicked on the top one to make sure the pieces go the same way, where it's not always the same. The game always seems to pick wrong. So just make sure you're on the lookout as you're piecing this together. Make sure that, here, I'll show you. So that's the standard attachment point for the square extender. I'm just going to put it on here, but as you'll see, it's the wrong way with that spike there. Alright, so now we're on the component freedom version of Robot Arena 2, and you will see very immediately the benefit of it. Now this motor can get put in a position where the center point is farther in front, and so your vitals aren't too bad now. Like, if you had it where we had it for that first bot, where the motor was fully inside the body, you'd have all sorts of problems. But now it sticks out a little farther, and you see the motor sticking out. Don't worry, component freedom, as long as something is attached to the chassis, it won't appear when you're actually fighting. It's a very odd glitch, so that motor is not in danger of getting ripped off. The next type of drum I've dubbed the Yeti-Tar, because Yeti and Minotaur both use this. I saw this done by the Seaborg. He is probably got his link in the description because we do a lot of stuff together, so I want to help promote him. So what you do for this strategy is razor tips, where the extenders were on the last design, they go on the inside like that. Now for this basic disc piece, you can attach the pieces like I just did there. You can also, if you find the blade, do this. Put it on the side, the very edge. Now, this does help for a little bit of attack, but the other purpose that the blades serve is it makes it look a little bit more solid like a drum. Obviously, there's still a lot of gaps in between the pieces. There's only so much you can do. 4 blades, 4 razor tips later, that is the basic form of the Yeti-Tar drum. And it is very effective, as you've seen with both of those robots. Next up is the Plus. I believe I used this in both Robot Wars recreations of Concussion and of Sabretooth. Get rid of the disc. You don't need that, because we're trying something brand new. Now this is for invertible drum spinners that you actually don't want the drum to clip while going on both sides. That disc is too big, you need to make something smaller, and what we do here is one round extender that sticks directly out like this. That's going to get protected, don't worry, it's a very vital piece, but you'll see how it gets protected. You then pick one of those side attachment points for the round extender, and you will attach 4 to that first one you just put in 4 directions to create a plus, as you will see me form. Be very careful when you're in component freedom because it's easy to, as you can see, I barely moved the mouse and it's trying to attach to a different point. You gotta be very, very careful. Component freedom is a very tricky animal, but once you learn it, it is a beast. So there, from the other side of the body, looking through it, you can see the plus is now created. So from here, spike strips. Spike strips are a pretty good one to pick. It covers a pretty long distance, and if you angle it correctly, the teeth will stick out a little bit to cause some damage. The only problem with this type of a drum spinner is that these pieces are a little bit exposed here. You could put blades on it, it might help a little bit, but yeah, that's just a thing. You gotta hope doesn't really kill your bot. But then that's what your plus will look like. It's a lot smaller, because remember, it is smaller than the motor, and the motor will disappear, so you have nothing to worry about there. That's what it looks like when your bot is competing. It's pretty handy. The next one I got listed down is the egg beater. I haven't actually built anybody like Hobgoblin yet. Hobgoblin has an egg beater, which is pretty much, you've just got 2 hammers, 2 parts of the drum that spin around. It's a pretty cool looking weapon for bots that have it. Take a couple 60s, I'm just going to use that for the demonstration purposes. A couple 60s and attach it to these 2 20 extenders that are off the main 20. Remember, for the smaller types of the drums, so far we've got the plus and the egg beater, you got to start off with this piece right here. It is very, very important. Those extenders you don't necessarily need, because for the egg beater, the actual weapon I'm going to put on is this blade that you saw earlier, but I thought they would be more helpful for the shape of the body. Could even attach it there, bang, and then we do it on this side, and bang. Change the selection point and rotate. There's your egg beater. Well, it looks like that 40 sticks out just a tiny bit. That actually could be a problem. It might be easier. Okay. See, I told you I never attempted an egg beater before. The 40's too long, and just put 2 20s like that. Now it's perfect. There's your egg beater. Obviously it's not moving because I didn't wire it, there's no batteries, and there's no control board, but look at it slowly rotating. Looks pretty neat. Don't know how well the balance is, because this game does have some balance issues even if you've done everything perfect. One other thing that component freedom will let you do, besides put this motor out nice and far, so not only can you attach on the normal attachment point on a motor there, but you can attach to the back side of the motor and it will still spin. If you don't believe me, then let me show you real quick. Bang, 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 bang. Both spin. Pretty neat. This is an idea that could be used for bots like Hypershock and Lockjaw in their 2018 versions, where they've got those 2 little small pieces that spin together and spin next to each other. That's kind of what the thought process is there. Obviously this drum is hitting because I have no wheels, so just ignore that part, but you could see, let me get them back. Motor disappears, you got these 2 pieces. Looks pretty good, right? I think it looks pretty good. There may be other types of drum spinners that could be made. I haven't really experimented beyond the Yeti or the Plus. I haven't even done the egg beater, like I said. I think I've tried this one. I just dubbed it the center motor. Look, I know these names suck. They're not really interesting or fun. Just shut up. But those are the 5. 4 are component freedom requiring. 1 is not. But they're all pretty effective if you get it right and you're patient with your build. Well, yeah, drum spinners are fun. I don't have a suggestion yet for the next episode, so leave one in the comments below and then I will be more than happy to tackle it. I hope you guys are enjoying these, and if I've left anything out, we'll discuss it in the comments. But thank you for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh no, I burnt it. I fucking burnt it. Oh, there's a fire! There's a fire! A fire! Ah! Oh my god!
Nick, put it out!
I'm trying!